What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Pearl Abyss just dropped update 1.12 for Crimson Desert, and I just want to take a second before we get into it to talk about this development team and how they've been operating since the launch. These guys have been consistently pushing updates like fixes, quality of life improvements, new content almost every single week now. And that's not something you really can take for granted. I'm sure we've all seen games launch and then just kind of go quiet. But Pearl Abyss has genuinely been listening, from addressing player complaints early on to now giving us stuff like outdoor housing, decoration, new crafting stations, combat tweaks. And it really just feels like they actually give a damn about the people playing this game. And that's the kind of support that makes you want to stick with a game long term. So, big respect for the team for that. And anyway, let's just get into it. Here's everything in patch 1.12 and the one they put out not even a day later, 1.12.01. So, with the major updates, this patch adds a new feature that lets you decorate the area outside your house, as well as new equipment and furniture, along with various bug fixes and stability improvements. And here are the new additions. They added a new feature that allows you to decorate your area outside your house. Added two new tools that can be used to craft items. Workstations can be found in multiple places now, such as Greymane Camp and Timberham Sawmill. They've added looms that can be found in multiple places, such as the Hernan Tailor Shop. For your house, they've added 58 new items. Under facilities, it says 4 tools, 10 slot days, 7 fountains, 6 wells, 8 braziers, 6 street lights, decorations, pet furniture, 4 carpets, 6 hanging planters, 4 automata toys, 1 music box, and 2 pet furniture items. These items can be crafted at a loom or a workstation. These items and their crafting manuals can be obtained from shops, claw machines, the flower basket crafting mission, the box of fortune, and the orb roll challenge. Now, for Damien and Unka, they can now equip Visiones and read memories. So not only Cliff will not be the only one that can do that now. Damien and Unka can now mount Black Star as well. For all 3 characters, they added chain attacks while sliding for each weapon type. For Cliff, they added 5 new headgear items and 1 set of armor. That includes the Silent Conqueror plate helm, the Centennial of Tenacity helm, the Feral Centennial helm, Centennial of Trust helm, Steel Maw plate helm, and the Greymane light armor. Damien, they added a new pair of gloves, honorary Greymane cloth gloves, and for all, they added a new accessory, the Greymane signet. Sorry if I'm saying some of these things wrong. Some of the words in here I haven't seen until I played this game. Added a box of fortune to the mysterious shop. The box costs 100 silver, and you can purchase up to 3 boxes each time it's restocked. They added 51 knowledge entries for collectibles and contract. Here's the major improvements. They improved the game so that the character loading screen is also displayed when loading as Unka or Damien. Additionally, the loading process has been optimized to slightly reduce loading time. They changed the name of the Pet's Tailor's Shop to Pet Shop. The Cuckoo Cooler and Enhanced Cuckoo Cooler can now be sold. They added new ways to obtain the following knowledge entries, which previously became unattainable after completing certain quests: Exploding Bismuth Spider, the Jarback Crab, Skull Night Flowers, Jared, Dark's Worn Armor Spectral Soldier, Giant Rock Tusk Warthog. Improved logging so that fine timber drops when logging quality up level 2 is active. Improved rematches so that it is now available at a stronghold undergoing reconstruction. Interesting. Interesting. Controls. They improved the system so that other inputs are not performed while an interaction prompt is displayed while aiming. They added a key guide for the explosive evasive shot, fixed an issue where customizing controls, if a disabled key and the interaction key were assigned to the same input, the interaction function would incorrectly be triggered by holding the input. And for Mac, they fixed an issue where placeable items could not be placed in the house using a keyboard and mouse. So quite a few things there control wise, or 4 things there for controls fixed. With combat and action now, quite a few things here for the combat. When retrying a boss battle after dying or for similar reasons, settings changed during the previous attempt are now maintained. The maintained settings are as follows: knowledge obtained through observation, primary and secondary weapon, selected element, arrows and food items assigned to quick slots, and items assigned to be used instantly. Improved the aerial force palm so it can now be used in safe zones. That's cool. Improved nature snare so it can now be placed while flying. Improved the nature snare so that Unka and Damien also acquire it when it is learned through observation. So they can now learn those through observation the way Cliff did. Improve the skill executed when using quick swap with a spear. Damien added a unique sit animation. She now sits differently. Damien adjusted the attack range of the unarmed whirl kick, added a new attack pattern for the Queen Bismuth Orbeck crab, improved the Wyvern's dive animation, and UI fixes. They fixed an issue where enemy icons would sometimes not display on the minimap, improved the collectibles chest so that owned and unowned items are differentiated by the shade of each slot, allowing players to easily check whether they own each item. For graphics and settings, improve the settings menu so that you can now move directly to the top or the bottom of the menu. Improve the game so that a prompt for setting the minimum font size is displayed when launching the game for the first time. And under localization, they fixed various localization errors and improved localization quality across all languages. So, quite a few things fixed through there and added as well. In the others section here, they fixed an issue where eggs would appear watching them after reaching the maximum number of owned pets. Fixed an issue where the investment strategy would change after saving and loading a game. They fixed an issue where mounts could attack an ally while a player was wearing a mask. Fixed an issue that caused the game to crash when switching weapons immediately after using Nature's Echo. I have not experienced that, but for those of you that have, that will now no longer be a problem. Fix an issue where sockets could not be created for certain equipment. Fix an issue where enhancing a specific one-handed sword would complete the Artesian's Touch challenge, crafting a one-handed sword at the smithy. Fix an issue where memories could be read while on a moving object. Fix an issue where weapons would be automatically stowed or could not be drawn while approaching the smithy. Fixed where the camera angle would shift when entering housing mode. Improved wagons so that they can escape without being destroyed when stuck in terrain or objects. Fixed an issue where the actual amount of resources did not match the displayed amount of resources when donating camp funds. Certain outfits would appear unnaturally in specific situations. They fixed an issue where tracking marker on the world map and minimap would change to a bounty hunt icon in the certain situations. They also fixed an issue where shop icon was displayed in an inaccessible area on the world map. Some people were experiencing where the game performance would drop when riding certain mounts, so that will now be fixed. They also made it where items could be placed outside the housing area now. They fixed an issue where certain outfits would display unnaturally while riding a bear. Also fixed where shields would sometimes not return when using Smiting Bolt during a shield toss. They fixed an issue where fusion reactor core of the Sanctum of Penitence would respawn after completing it. They fixed an issue where the quest guide text would not be displayed in certain situations. Fix an issue where the relevant knowledge could not be acquired after defeating the Hex Earthen Exploding Spider. They also fixed when using the cuckoo bird's egg or wyvern egg, it would be duplicated and added to recoverable items when hatched under certain conditions. They also fixed where pets would be unsummoned during certain quests and minigames. Where Blackstar and wyverns could not land on the ground was fixed. Where certain timber would not be automatically acquired. Fixed an issue where the remaining time of reconstruction would not refresh when viewing the details of a stronghold. Also fixed where the game would crash when entering the die menu while wearing specific equipment. I had that happen to me as well. Fixed an issue where the water tower could not be repaired when saving and loading the game after completing the repair the water tower mission of the quest Farm Without Water. They also fixed where the autosave related message would appear in inaccessible areas. where the transit station would disappear when the iron crawler passed through it when completing the Crimson Mountains Transit Station construction request. They also fixed where the size of items in the Die House preview menu differed from the actual size. Also, if you were experiencing the singing catfish, it would occasionally cause it to sink underwater. They fixed that. Or if the rotating camera in certain conditions would cause frame drops. They fixed where the wild honey was not displayed in cooking methods of recipes that use honey as an ingredient. Also, where progression was blocked when entering St. Halisus' House of Healing with 4 pieces of the St. Halisus priest outfit equipped and St. Halisus Victor Pass in the inventory. They improved the game to play related sound effects when a crime is committed with no witnesses present. Or if NPCs would fail to follow the player during certain quests that require them to do so. I definitely experienced that, especially early on. I think it was chapter 2 or chapter 3 a couple times. They fixed where certain furniture had excessive visual effects, or where the wagon crafting mission could be carried out multiple times. They fixed where reading locations for certain memories were unnatural. Fix an issue where extra large fish, including the striped marlin, could be caught in a fish trap. They also fixed where the quest reward was not properly given after completing the Followers from Frost quest. Now, if you're using keyboard and mouse, they fixed an issue where the furniture would be taken out in an unplaceable state. They fixed where the lightning kick could be used in safe zones, or where the equip tool would switch with another weapon when using it in certain situations. They fixed where tools could be taken out while talking to NPCs. And they fixed where controls would become unresponsive when firing a shotgun while riding a wagon. And for Damien and Unka, they fixed an issue where the game would crash after expanding the camp, or where leaf effects would be displayed, or where the focus charge shot could not be fired multiple times in the air. For Unka, the scatter shot now fires in the aimed direction when used out of combat. Also, for Unka, they fixed an issue where jumping while grabbing did not function properly when equipping the Cuckoo rocket pack. For Unka again, they fixed an issue where damage would be dealt consecutively when using charge with certain weapons. Would not be dealt. So now it will. And for Unka again, they fixed an issue where fall damage was delayed when using spinning strike from high places. And then for the hotfix, which was also for PC and Mac, it says they fixed an issue where furniture placed outdoors disappeared in certain situations. Fixed an issue where players could not climb onto moving objects in certain situations. Also, where lighting on glass materials appeared unnatural. Where terrain on the path of Sanctum of Faith was floating in the air. And where Skunky would disappear when placed down in camp. And it says at the bottom, we are truly rooting for the journey that awaits you in Pywell. Thank you. And that's everything in patch 1.12 and the hotfix they put out right after for Crimson Desert. Honestly, another solid update from Pearl Abyss. It's nothing that completely flips the game on its head, but that's kind of the point. It's the consistency that matters. Little by little, they're smoothing out the rough edges and adding things players actually want and just making the overall experience better each week. If you haven't played this game yet and you're thinking about it, now would be a good time to jump in. Things are just getting more polished. Let me know down in the comments what y'all think about this patch and whether there's anything you're still hoping they address in the future. I'd love to hear what you guys are thinking. If you found this video helpful, drop a like and consider subscribing. It really does help the channel out more than you know. And that way you won't miss the next video. All right, that's it from me. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you on the next one.